Hi, everybody. This is Melissa, your free range psychic. Um, Today is 11/11/2025, and I don't see anybody here yet. Oh, here. Hey, Daniel. Yeah, I haven't seen you for a couple. I'm glad you're here. Um, it's been crazy this week, huh? But it's been crazy for a long time. Forever, it seems like, since last year, this time, right? Hey, at CMPM 575, how you doing? Hi. Hey, Dana. Hi. Thank you for coming. Hey, Carol. Oh, Daniel. Oh my God, it's so cold. I kind of got used to it today, but that first day, was it yesterday, the day before? It was just like, what is this? My body's like, huh? Now I'm kind of like, okay, this is winter. I get it. I mean, it's not winter yet, but it feels like it. And even though it's supposed to get warmer next week here, it's going to go up to the 50s again. I just feel like a big winter coming on. Um, oh, hey, Carolyn. Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Um, hey, Nanette. Love to you. Hey, Tamara. Linda. Buffy. This is going to be some show. Just because it's controversial, I have thoughts about things that maybe other people don't share. Uh, I'll get into that in a little bit. Don't put that out there. Yeah, Daniel, I want to talk about that. I have a little bit of a different viewpoint about that. My guides, because of talking with my guides, what they're telling me is not really the narrative that I'm seeing put out by the Democrats right now, for the most part. Jan, you're saying it's almost winter here in Iowa. Um, yeah. Oh, you're very, very welcome. Oh, wow. That's a really nice compliment. It's chilly here in Texas, Linda says. Woo, 80s. I don't think I'm going to see the 80s here. I'm in southeastern Michigan. That's not going to be for a while. Oh, Carolyn, that'll be interesting. What you have to say? And I swear to God, which is no pun intended. I prayed on this one because there's so much emotion going on right now, and I really feel like it's one of those times when our emotions are being driven by a narrative that may or may not necessarily be true. Like we're running on like this false belief. And I kind of understand how Brexit happened, actually. Like in England when there was so much interference in social media that it drove a motion to separate England from the European Union, which is really from Putin. And I'm going to remark on that actually too, because I think it's the same thing. Not just probably Putin, and KGB, the interference they've, 2016 election, right? That was proven by Mueller. Interfering with our social media, like if they see a potential or weakness, they're going to go for it, and they are doing that right now. Thank you, Carolyn. Hey, Marby. Um, so I guess I wanted most importantly to bring people's attention to that. This is a period of time when we're getting, I think, a lot of Russian bots, a lot of things that inflame what people have high feelings anyway. And what am I talking about is the Senate, the 8 members of the Senate who agreed to end the shutdown. And oh my God, like they're traitors, they're weak. The oh, wait a minute. I lost you. Am I still here? I don't know what happened. Mercury retrograde. Do you see me? It just went and then it came back. I don't know why. I don't know why that happened. Are we good? Huh. Anyway, I should be a master at Mercury retrograde. That is my life story. Always been the case for me. A lot of confusion there. I'm always want to put some monkey wrench in the machine, so to speak. And I've literally done that when I was doing some summer work at a factory. Oh, good. Oh, everyone's having issues. Hey, um, yeah, it's going to be a strong Mercury retrograde, I think. Anytime I've thought I've gotten away with like Mercury retrograde and it's not going to affect me, oh my God, something happens. Whatever it is a kind of major, haven't paid a bill I thought I paid, or didn't put a stamp on an envelope, or whatever it is. Oh, thanks. Oh, you were born during, Sandy, you were born during Mercury retrograde. That's amazing. Um, yeah. So what I wanted to talk about, and I really apologize for the people who have strong feelings about this on the other way, but this is about the government shutdown and the senators. I think that the government needs to be open. Okay, I said it, it's out there. It's been closed now for the longest shutdown. The Democrats have held strong for 41 days. And it's not, I don't know if it's the opening is in the clear yet. I know it's being negotiated, that those senators only came forward to say they would consider opening the government, but there's still, I think there's still elements of it that need to happen before it officially opens. And I understand what my guide showed me too. And then I just Googled it now. Like, what happens when the government shut down? Well, a lot of people, like, SNAP benefits, federal workers, massive layoffs, a lot of economic uncertainty. The airports were coming up on the holidays. And I think, honestly, even though I see a lot of Democrats, going, yeah, those weak senators, I think it was a masterful move. The timing of it. If you really step back and look at, this political game of chess that people are that we play, I think this time really the Senate and the Congress, the Democrats saw like where people's emotions were. They saw that the Republicans were not going to all of a sudden kind of have a come to Jesus moment about the Affordable Care Act. Like, they realized that there was a lot of a benefit for Trump and his administration to not open the government at all. I mean, I think they were willing to go that far to not open it. They want Grijalva sworn in, the Epstein files. Oh my God, that's getting more and more and more like deep in terms of like how horrible and how illicit and criminal that was, and what was really going on. I don't know if anybody saw Allison Gill talk about it. She had a show affiliated with the Midas Touch Brothers, and it blows my mind. I'll get into that later. So also, we had this huge election that was amazingly victorious. So you have to understand that power, it wasn't just kind of a spontaneous win. The Democrats, who everybody's putting down now, especially those 8, they were very, very active in making that happen. They had their act together, and I think they realized they had to wait till that was over and let that win come in, and then take the fall and all the anger, and which I think is really, yes, it breaks our heart about the Affordable Care Act. That is not the Democrats' fault. Who's resisting that? The Republicans, and the Democrats are not in power. I see this over and over again, this as a meme or statement. Oh, the Democrats hold all the cards. They do not hold the cards. They've done amazingly for 40 days, the longest shutdown ever they've held. And a lot of focus now is on the healthcare and that's going to continue to be uh, a real, like a what would the word be, like that's going to be a huge issue that's going to pour into 2026 and also 2028 to bring Democrats over the line. Um, yeah, exactly. Thank you. So I feel like our media is flooded with bots, like Russian trolls and Chinese trolls and whomever is like wanting this division to happen with the Democrats. They're taking the ball and running with it. That's what they want, and I just want us to step back and center our emotions. And like I'm assuming that that's not happening, but it may just be the media I'm watching and all the bot statements, and maybe the majority of us know this. All right. Hey, Ivy, good afternoon to you. Um, yeah, exactly. Thank you. Oh, I feel like almost crying because I was so worried that people be angry at me for saying what I'm saying. So Nanette says, I'm with you. This is strategic, absolutely brilliant. And Schumer he's been around a long time. Pelosi, these people who, yes, they're older and, uh, people, even just for optics, like the younger, kind of politicians who are also brilliant. But we need the long, the overview. We need the history. We need people who understand how this works. Um, Yeah, this is exactly the right way to go. I could feel it, the relief of the government opening and Trump being really upset, and Mikey Johnson just trying to follow him around and, like all of Twitter, like, and trying to please his boss who's not happy. And I know people wonder, well, Grijalva, um, thank you, Buffy. Yay. Um, uh, be sworn in. Yes, my guides are sure she will. And that's a huge problem, but for them, for Trump, because did anybody else see Allison Gill talk about like that, the investigation? Hey, Teresa, and how the way that Bondi, like the lack of oversight, so that she didn't like limit the people who could kind of tap into all the Epstein files. So over 1,000 people, at least FBI agents, could download the files, and they were just ubiquitous for everyone. And so that has to mean that like a lot of people have them, which means like God knows. I'm amazed they haven't totally leaked by now. And she said that her sources in the government told her it's worse than we thought, way worse. And some people broke down in tears watching the videos of the abuse that happened, and just the quantity of abuse and the type of abuse. So and that's going to come out now. Um, and that has to happen, and that's going to also benefit, and it should come out. Um, oh, was that a Lions football game? Go Lions! I saw the video. I didn't realize it was a Lions game. I don't know why. I saw everybody standing up, and what was that, the one where like Trump and Mikey Johnson came out and they were behind that bulletproof screen, and they were like, "Oh yeah, look, here we are!" And a few people started clapping, and then everybody else just booed them. That was wonderful. Um, Sorry, that should have gone before. Yeah, she has a Substack. So, oh, thank you. I'm so relieved. I was so worried. I just, I'm just praying that people are able to, see the truth and not be led by these um, anger mongers and fear mongers, whether they are, down. So I see a lot of the people who are the most inflammatory are actually Republicans that, are joining with the Democrats. Although I saw the bulwark, and I was really impressed with their take, because that was exactly my take. Is there's one of them's a Republican strategist. I meant to get his name, um, but he's like, yeah, this is I can see the logic in this, and he was really seeing it from like a strategic point of view, and I'm like, thank God. Uh, yeah, yeah. I think you're right. And I'll read, in case people are just listening to this. I'll read what Clearfield 2009 says. I think everyone holds their judgment when we get hit with big news these days. Yeah. So I kind of like not even wanted to listen or watch some videos because it's just like Dev's caved and they need to find the bottles. And I'm like, what kind of language is that? Like, that's so stupid. It's not a football game. It's um, oh, really? Oh, God. Daniel says, I saw that T Rump wants to rename the Washington Stadium after him. I think he wants everything named after him. It's his brand. And he, I think he's more and more concerned about his legacy. Oh, Felon Field. Daniel says they call it Felon Field. Let's see if I've missed anything back here. Yeah, thank you. Someone else on TikTok said we need to be camping out at Mikey Johnson's house instead of jumping on the 8 Dems and Schumer. 100%. I mean, the Democratic Party is amazing to me right now because they're holding strong. They're the ones who oversee the election campaigns and everything. And look, I mean, that's what we should still be talking about. That just happened, right? A week ago, last Tuesday, and yeah, oh yeah, I reposted with that vision. I don't know if you remember anybody who's watching it last week, but at the end when I was asking my guides, what you needed to hear, they showed me right that democracy was going to stand strong, and then I saw a vision of the Statue of Liberty behind me, or over to the side, I think, and it was so powerful. But later on, a lot of times things just filter through my mind when I'm going to sleep or trying to go to sleep. And I realized that what they were showing me too. Oh, you know why? Also because I was listening to the governor of New Jersey speak, and she said, and in front of me, I see the Statue of Liberty, and I'm like, that was part of the symbolism of that vision. Besides our symbolizing our democracy, was these two women. She symbolized the two governors who won, and I was like, yes, that must have been it. That was an amazing vision. So I'll come back to the new comments here. YouTube changed my name. It's JC. Yeah, I didn't know what you wanted to be called. Otherwise, I would have called you that. So I'll call you JC. I try to like respect your emails and your anonymity or whatever people choose. In terms of their email and their names. Exactly. The traders were denying people food. You think they care about healthcare? They don't. They wanted it to go on forever. That's part of 2025. And I think that I see reporting. I don't know whether how sensationalistic it is to, the Midas Touch Brothers and others. I love them, but it's a lot of clickbait to me. Like Trump is done forever. Things like that, just like, and I have to watch the video and go, is that true? Like, what am I watching here? But he looked pretty miserable today. And I think that's because of the government opening. And that's a big loss, which I hope that it will. And my guide said last week, right, it would open soon. And if it does, if that proves true, yeah, that's going to be, a huge win for the Democrats, actually. And it's going to be a huge loss for the Republicans because people are going to, eventually, I want to say sooner than later, because my guide showed me that, because I asked about this anger and this divisiveness within the Democrats and whatever, but they said, don't worry about it, Melissa, because it's just like next week, we're all going to just be focused on Grijalva being sworn in, which it may be Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday, that she gets sworn in. And, then the Epstein files, and to see if they will get released. I don't think it's just her signature on that. What is it, request or whatever to release him. I think it has to go through some other processes. Maybe it has to go to the Senate, but I think they will be released eventually. But then it doesn't matter right now. I shouldn't say it doesn't matter, but the attention will be on that fight. The focus will be on that instead of the opening of the government. But yes, the government needs to be open. Petition. Thank you. Thank you so much. Another comment, Midas Touch keeps running clips about T-Rump being in some new legal trouble, but he's got immunity, so they need to stop. Let's see. Yeah, 100%. Keith Edwards Mockler, and I was watching Luke Beasley, who that guy. I like him, but he's very disrespectful to President Biden, and I have a hard time with that because he was mocking Biden. Some recent comments Biden made, and thinking, do you understand who that is? And he just doesn't have the wisdom to understand that presidency. They're not it's not the same. Trump and Biden are not the same just because they're both elderly, or people perceive them as elderly. It really bothered me, but I had to step back with that and go, well, he's young and foolish and he lacks wisdom and God knows discernment to not understand like the 4 years we just went through and how, the contrast to what's going on now. Right. Yeah, you don't watch him. Yeah, I'm gonna I unsubscribe to a lot of people. Just the last day or so because I just don't want to hear it, and it's just so irresponsible too. We don't need that. We don't need that divisiveness and what's it called? All sides do it kind of thing. Is no, and no, 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 no. One side is completely different than the other. Oh, see, I had to stop Meg's Touch because they kept showing too many clips of Trump. I just can't stand to see or hear him anymore. Yeah, he's beginning to look more and more like a lizard. Like something about his. Oh yeah, I remember the last week somebody asked if he was an alien, and I went into an explanation of how I think he's just coming from his lower lizard brain. But he does look like a lizard. Do you have comments you're reading from? Huh? You're only seeing your own comments? Um, is everybody only seeing their own comments? Okay, this is a test. So StreamYard changed their format and they gave us a split screen. Does that change? Does that change how you're seeing this? Okay, just you. So I'll change back to this. I don't know how this. Do you see two screens right now? Um, I'm I'm going to come back to my other layout, but everybody's still seeing their own. Can I log out and log into StreamYard? I don't know. I'm showing this on YouTube, but I suggest you just log out and log in again anyway on YouTube and see if you can see your comments. I'm Mercury retrograde. I really don't know how to solve that problem. Okay, let's see. And I'm so sorry about that, JC. Lots of questions here. I don't want to miss your questions, so I'm going to kind of scroll up. Um, oh yeah, so you were saying it's like portrait and landscape. I'm back to solo screen right now. Um, what about this? Oh, StreamYard, what did you do? So is there any truth? I don't know. Can I ask other people? Do you know if Walter Reed, I mean, if Trump was rushed to Walter Reed this Saturday, wasn't he caught at some party? Not the Gatsby party, but another party with Argentinian president, and they had a lot of seafood. I love seafood, so but it was just decadent, and they had like girls in gold bathing suits, and they did something in some kind of synchronized swimming in a pool. Or what a great message! Did anybody see that reporting? I can ask the guides. I will a little bit in a little bit about that. Oh, thanks, JC. Oh, right, Jan. Something to do with font size. So he disappears for 3 hours, but his people kept it hush hush. So my guides have been telling this for a while. Sorry, I don't mean to be talking so fast that you can't understand me. I'm gonna slow down for a minute. Okay, my guides have been showing me this for a while, but he's very sick, and I think we all know this. But he's sicker than what people, for the most part, are seeing. That was CPAC. It's so disgusting. It's on so many levels. I mean, yeah, in Mar-a-Lago. Um, doesn't he think we're all watching? I mean, there's so many memes of Trump as Marie Antoinette. You don't watch Midas Touch anymore. I want to watch it. I want to support them, but I can't. They watch them for very long. I mean, I want to keep abreast of the news too, but I just go, oh, I'm going to turn this off, and they often go with allergies. They often go with kind of that narrative, like that everybody else goes with, like that they could not even suggest that this 2024 election was stolen, and that was so disappointing because it was. I don't believe that they were gaslighting intentionally, but I felt gaslighted by a lot of people like Midas Touch. Um, yeah, I'm burned out on clickbait too. Leslie's saying, I think it explains all the pardons. Get everything done before he dies or leaves. And I wonder if I should ask my guides about that too. If some of those pardons are going to stand. Like, what if, as my guides show me, that we do find out sooner than later that Leon switched the tabulations, and there is some damning evidence coming up right now with is it Smart Elections or Election Alliance, and that there was like flat out like obvious chicanery going on. So let's see about him. I'm using my pendulum now. I'm not Erica Kirk. No, I'm just joking about the way she always kind of like looks at the audience and then she looks up. I think that she learned early on when she was doing her beauty pageant days how to, be performative, certain facial expressions, and oh my God, somebody's got to, be like a Erica impersonator. She'd be so much fun to impersonate. Um, easy. So let's see. Not casting aspersions on, well, I don't even want to get into that because we're being so gaslit about CK right now. I can't even. I go back and listen to some of his stuff. Oh my God, you know, in his day, in his days of glory. But may he rest in peace. Nobody deserves to be um, taken like that, right? Okay, so I'm asking about T-Rum's health right now. Yeah, he had a major. It's like a what they're showing me is like when your car the transmission goes out and it's a major problem, something like that. So if it's the transmission, what organ would that be? His heart. Like he had like a heart failure, but they really pump him up on drugs, to get him back. This heart stopped beating. No, it just went into a failure. So there wasn't enough. I guess when that happens, what the guys are showing me is the pumping. Your blood has to pump blood all through your body and oxygen. Uh, no, it just wasn't. Yeah, he was in a lot of duress. He had to be rushed to the hospital, and they're showing me him being put on oxygen, and I'm seeing, electrolytes, and it's not like his heart stopped beating, but yeah, he was in like critical. There could have been a moment, it seems to kind of survive those moments of heart failure where he could have, if not pass, had to have been hospitalized for a longer period of time, but they kind of just got it at that moment. Um, it's something about, well, didn't he go to Mar-a-Lago and play golf and something that happened there? And he's very um, vulnerable right now to those kinds of episodes. They're going to happen again. Uh, he does not follow doctor's orders. Like he doesn't. They just keep patch him up and throw him back into the bond. Okay, let me see what else. Leslie's saying chronic heart failure continues to get worse over time, and he's not doing anything to like arrest that process because it's a lifestyle. Um, oh, you did, Buffy? Wow, hope you're well and your body's stabilized, and yikes. I'm sure you're all right. Let's see, I was unhappy with Midas and even some other attorneys claiming there were no issues with the election, one of them representing Kamala's campaign. Yes, Sharon, I don't know. That was crazy. I guess there was a lot of pressure to, um, you know, to gloss over that, but it was wrong. Uh, so, JC, you're saying Smart Elections has 2 lawsuits in motion, one in Rockland, Pennsylvania, and one in Missouri. Linda's saying T-Rump is the kid who ate all the cookies, had cookie crumbs all over his face, but thinks he can lie and convince you he didn't eat all the cookies. Just doesn't care. Just wants his way, like any sociopath. Um, and you're saying pardons. Leslie's saying pardons are federal. Most of these Jan 6 stuff in the states is in the states. And I read somewhere that he, of course he would. T-Rump would like to, be able to pardon those people too, but I don't think he'll be able to. Um, Carolyn's saying there's one program on Legal AF that I enjoy, Court of History, former Clinton officer lawyer, and a professor of history from Princeton. I think I've seen that. Okay, I'm not just gonna go silent forever. I was just trying to figure out like what to put on the screen. Trump, oh yeah, we already saw that. Sorry. Um, Daniel saying, all I know is when this is all over, I want Nuremberg type trials. I do too. I was just listening to, does anybody watch Reese Walters? He's a comedian. I think he's been on like entertainment shows on TV, but he's really funny. He's showing Kate Miller and somebody else was also some other YouTube channel. She is a piece of work. My God, she's scary. She's like, the she and her husband must share the same demon. She's just vile, in my perspective. Oh, perception. Also, I want to say entertainment purposes only. I'm a psychic. I ask my guides to show me, uh, what they want to show me, and then I tell you. But what do I know? I'm asking my psychics here. Psychics. I'm asking my guides and my psychics out there. But Katie, she scares the heck out of me. But I think it's so performative. But she's exactly on the same like vibrational level that her husband is. They really belong together. Buffer? Am I buffering again? If I need to myself, like get out of here and come back, I will. If there's a problem, Mercury retrograde is just going to be Mercury. Mercury retrograde is going to just do what Mercury retrograde does. It's going to just be itself. Oh my God, Ivy. I put a comment out on Blue Sky about that. How will they deal with asbestos in the White House? The issue is they I guess they haven't done anything. So my question to my guides was, how much is it going to shorten the lifespan, and will it shorten the lifespan of his staff and anybody else who's visited there with the asbestos still, being present, or if it's still being present, or the day and the day after and the day after that of the East Wing being torn down. Is that why that pharmaceutical rep or CEO, I think his name's Gordon Finley, is that why he collapsed? Do you remember that? That happened last week. Um, yeah, yeah, Katie Miller, she really does. It's weird. Um, so what's going to come of that? Because they all were in the White House, Bondi and Miller and Noam and or Noam, T-Rump himself, and I feel sorry for the cleaning staff and like the service staff there, because there was no protection there, and I don't think you're allowed to wear a mask in there, right? So I'll ask my guides actually. Thank you, Louisa. Yeah, they say there's major health issues. Anybody who was in there, the staffers, the interns, it's major. It's like kind of being in 9/11. I mean, the potential of toxicity, the amount that was there. If you think about it, do you remember it was around No King's Day or on No King's Day, and he was being interviewed in his office, and he was laughing because you could hear the sound of the bulldozing happen, and he said, "Oh, I love the sound of the bulldozing," something like that, and that was when it was happening. So he himself was exposed to high levels, not just of asbestos, but probably lead and God knows. And they had non-union workers who did not follow any OSHA laws or containment procedures. And passerby were also affected by it. So that's a huge, I want to say scandal, but or whatever, the criminal act that we have yet to find out the potential of. But how could it not impact anybody who was there? And mesothelioma, I'm probably not saying it right, that disease from asbestos, that's extremely difficult to go through. It can be terminal. I do believe. Hey JC, I see you. I do believe there's healing for it. There's got to be, but it is particularly toxic. So I want the East Wing back. I'm still traumatized by that myself, which was the point, right? I heard somebody talk about how vote going, by 2025, his 2025, I don't want to say beliefs or whatever. He intentionally wants people to be traumatized. I think he said that, like, you traumatize the population the way we've been traumatized. That's how you gain power. That's how authoritarianism comes in. So he's doing it intentionally. Oh, I forgot to say thank you. Happy, can you say Happy Veterans Day? Or thank you for your service, all of you out there who have given service. I almost forgot that. I was trying to remind myself to say it at the beginning, and I forgot. Veterans in DC are protesting 47 today, and so they should. The health industry, Sharon Ann says the health industry raising prices so high will crash the industry at some point. For-profit healthcare keeps people sick and leading to death. Yeah, that's so untenable. It's going to cause such problems, but the problems will be, besides for the people who are, dealing with that horror, potentially, it's gonna gender more and more antipathy towards the Republicans. That isn't, it's not the Democrats, right? As much as they want to say it. And with the government being open, it's going to be even more pressure on the Republicans, because healthcare it's going to bring the protesters, right? It's going to bring MAGA protesters against, or ex-MAGA against the government. It's so short-sighted. 2025 it's probably look good on paper, but they forget about humans, the humans in this country, who, it's our taxpayer dollars. It's our government. It's our White House. And the guides do show me that no matter how bad it looks, we are going to retrieve our democracy. We're going to throw down this. I want to say regime, not administration. It's not legit administration anyway. This regime, it is not long lasting, because they're showing me that it's like old Roman temple or something, or Greek temple built on pillars, right? Or Sumerian temple or whatever, the way that they were built. And these edifices, like whatever ballroom that he wants to build, the atrocity. I don't know if it will be built, and if it is, it's not gonna be there longer. But the pillars are like made of cardboard, holding up really, really heavy, um, uh, is edifice the right word? Like they cannot withstand the um, the floors they're holding up. They're just crumbling. These pillars are just being squashed because, of course, with T Rump is going to like make a disaster of anything like that because everything's going to, however, even metaphorically, however it's constructed, will be just constructed in the cheapest way possible without taking into consideration what's necessary to make something long lasting the way they want, like this construction or reconstruction of authoritarianism. Um, it's gonna just come crashing down. That's what the guides say, and it's not gonna within short order. It's not gonna take that long. Are you guys still out there? Okay, here we are. I didn't see your comments coming up. Ivy's asking, does that sound like karma for all? Yes, exactly. For all is it actions? Yeah, I think that's what you were meaning, including leveling the East Wing. Yes, exactly. Because T Rump himself is so impulsive, short sighted, destructive, obstinate, um, defiant. He will destroy everything around him because that's just how he is and grift off it. We all have PTSD. That is 100% for sure. LC says, my graduate school, Catholic University of America in DC, had a renovation, and there was asbestos. They had to drape the building and hermetically seal it in the process. That should have happened. Well, the East Wing should never have been knocked down. I mean, it was such a beautiful, important part of our democracy. But if that had to happen, yes, I think the consequences of that are almost unforeseeable in terms of the quantum amount of disease it will cause people. But I've said this before. I believe we will rebuild it exactly as it was. We have the blueprints, we have the archives, we have documentation, and we can reproduce things that might have been destroyed or stolen. But I just see it being rebuilt. And it's important for our soul as a country to rebuild it. Yeah, exactly. He said, JC says, he said to traumatize federal workers was his goal. That's right. I wonder if Big Pharma will go after the orange bag. Well, maybe that's why he was meeting with those Big Pharma members. When one of them collapsed, and then do you remember Chiram just kind of looking over, and then all of a sudden he like just was standing in front of his desk with this weird look on his face, like he was waiting for them to come and take him, to his cell or something, like at a madhouse. He's just standing there, like what? What was that? That was crazy. Um, and then he fell asleep at his desk, right? Like for like a long time, and he's not well. He is not well. Sundanat says there's a special election in Tennessee, December 2nd. Johnson is counting on a Republican to join the House and keep the Arizona rep voting at bay when she's sworn in. Will 10 vote blue? Yes. Oh, yeah, you reminded me of something else. Thank you, Annette. Yeah, the Republicans are just not seeing the scope of how unpopular this government is, and they're just assuming places that voted Republican in the past are going to vote Republican again. But they're miscalculating, and I've heard a lot of reporting on that. like Texas, like they're actually making it easier for Democrats to get in because the districts that once were so overwhelmingly red, a lot of them are Hispanic, and Trump is so unpopular with the Hispanics right now. They've created a worse situation for themselves, very ironically. And then Utah created, actually either kept or created a Democrat, maybe added a Democratic seat, potentially. Like they redistricted and they unexpectedly and intentionally added a potential Democratic seat. I wanted to say opening, but seat, right? For a congressperson. And so, and then 50 passed, right? In California. This so stupid, this party. Thank you, Nanette, for bringing that to our attention. Sharon Ann says the GOP haven't proposed a healthcare plan since Trump took office in 2015. They have no plan except to starve out the population and leave people sick. Yeah, that's their vision, their dystopian vision. What about all the elderly people and disabled people are going to get kicked out of their care homes? That's insanity. It's what's going to happen. I mean, the fallout from that in and of itself. JC says 2025 did not factor into any real pushback. Nope. I'm calling, I should say, the 2025 year, this year. FAFO, the year of FAFO, right? F around and F out, or find out. Because that's exactly what's happening. Elsie says, Mary Trump said weakness, if any kind, sickness was not allowed in the family. So Trump was in shock when someone showed weakness and fainted. Yeah, it's very strange. But I know that narcissists, they don't like sick people. They are scared of death, and for them, it's some kind of failure. They have a really weird attitude on illness and the disabled and stuff. It's just I guess it's their superficiality and their need to appear perfect, and so weakness is not to show weakness, and showing weakness is some kind of an anathema to them, and it needs to be punished. Sandy says, isn't it crazy they still refuse to say the emperor wears no clothes? Yeah. In fact, they're getting more and more like North Korea, right? His cabinet. Oh, the great leader, you are so wonderful. There's never been anybody like you. Oh, great one. They say the most ridiculous things. That's how they're conditioned, to behave. And that's how they get what they want. JC says Mandani campaigned in the Bronx and got a ton of Tea voters. Really? Wow. That was an amazing election, too. I was so happy to see Mandani be elected. I have such a good feeling about him and his wife. It's phenomenal. And think about it. Trump is a New York real estate agent who was major in causing the housing crisis there, right? He was one of that group. And making, selling to Russia and to China and other, for favor, and oh my God. So that even makes it sweeter that Islamic Democratic Socialist proudly saying so was elected as mayor. I think this is fabulous. I wondered that too, Sharon. Well, not necessarily for her plan, or maybe, or just, yeah. But what I was wondering, I should say, and Sharon saying, I think the administration misappropriated the SNAP money to Noam's plan Our eyes. Oh no, maybe actually I was thinking exactly that. If I recall that maybe the money was already spent. They took that money and they're stealing our money. They're just free fall falling it, and then they don't want to um, give it to the legitimate necessary services. Yeah, exactly. Oh, wait a minute. JC says in the 1700s, Jonathan Swift wrote a parody about solving poverty by having the poor eat their own babies. It was in England, and people thought it was a serious article. Huh. Leslie's saying Texas thought their redistricting would help the GOP, but instead it may have weakened existing districts. Yes, by spreading out the Republican voters. Exactly. Alabama and Kentucky were upset that they couldn't vote in the New York mayoral race. Well, they couldn't. Nope, that's not how it works. Um, see, by chance is Mandani's wife pregnant? I'm worried the GOP will go after her and threaten to deport her. Well, I can ask the guides, but grain of salt. I'll just tell you what they tell me. They're not going to be deported. They can threaten, but that's not going to happen. He has too many important allies, and nope, that's just not going to happen. They say. I see New York just standing, like how he said, um, if you go after New York, you'll have to get through me, and then the other part that I think was if you go through me, you have to if you want me, you have to go through my people. It's kind of like that. Like he's very protected. Oh, okay. I guess they would say that anyway. Like we're going to deport Mom Donnie's wife just because they say all kinds of stupid things. But I just see them very protected there. Yeah, the Nuremberg-like trials will be rewarding to watch. Popcorn ready. Yeah. So let's see what the guides have to say to you before I end here. I'll go over a little bit anyway, but oh, I should say please like, share, and subscribe. I think my videos sometimes get lost in the sauce. Um, but oh, and I'm still doing personal readings. I read past, present, future, and you can get in touch with me in the contact information. When I repost this, it'll be below. Let's see. Sharing and the dumbing down of the students in schools lead to stupid people believing stupid things, and also, just watching, having Fox News as being this, and God knows that the right wing's internet being the source of all your information, right? The guys want me to tell you, it's going to get so much worse for the Republicans. Unexpected consequences, they're saying, are going to like one after another, and they're going to start falling down. Not abandoning dear leader like his sycophants, but I feel like having major problems, and even the Supreme Court stepping in and like diffusing their power. I really want the Supreme Court to kind of like retract on immunity. I think they need to, just to protect themselves. That's not going to happen just yet, but it will. It will. And they are worried about the consequences of giving him too much power, which it's obvious, but they were too blinded, like Roberts and those people, by, it's like the people around them, like the Opus Dei and the Heritage Society, some mesmerism, like you are the pioneers, like in the Bible, like how Mikey Johnson says he's like Moses. You are forging a new path and a new way, and you're going to make this possible, this new world where the rich don't have to pay taxes, and the Bible is above the Constitution, and all these things, and somehow some of them really believe that, and then they would tell other people other things about how their greatness, and they were really fond on, of course, the all the money and the trips and whatever, like Harlan Crow did for uh, Thomas. But now everything's falling apart for them too, because nothing is coming to fruition, and they're seeing their own roles as being threatened. And instead of being like flattered, now they're being intimidated and bullied by the same people, and that's changing them somehow. That's interesting. So, and there's something else here. Oh, that's interesting, Carolyn. What internal struggles? And yeah, Mandani said to get to any of us, you'll have to go through all those, exactly. And I think that's true. Just one other thing. This is asked if it was about the Democrats, but no, there's just something else about the Republicans. The Republicans are going to lose more seats, lose more territory, lose more voters, lose more support. Like they're in their own constituencies. It's just they don't even realize how bad it is for them. It's going to be even worse. All those town halls where they get booed. It's going to get really bad. And we're going to see like I was wondering maybe to call MAGA people with the red hats, like like the British in the Revolutionary War. The redcoats, they're the red hats. I'm not the first person to think of that. I don't think, but that's just what came to my mind. Like they're going to have some huge protests. It's almost going to be like No King's Day for them, and joining with the No Kings people, joining with like the purple. Everybody's talking about the purple wave. Yeah, the purple wave. So Robbie, yeah, you just showed up, huh? I think Chuck Schumer going against the current wave of energy just shows us where the problems are with big money. It's meant to wake the populaces up. Well, I was controversial, and I apologize, but I actually think that he needs to open the government. I think that it's time, and I think there'd be nobody's really rationally thinking with that argument. What happens if we continue to keep the government shut? It's been 40 days. Or 41 days, and there's just, my guide showed me there's no way that all of a sudden we're going to get this like, oh yeah, like the come to Jesus moment of the Republicans going, yeah, we will fund the ACA. No, they won't. They want to keep, it's in 2025, I think, or they want to keep the government closed. And I think that those 8 senators were sacrifices to take the heat, because it's important. It's like strategic that the government opens right now. And the focus, that argument with the ACA, that's even going to be more highlighted, and more people are going to put pressure on the Republicans. If we infinitely kept the government closed, that is not, it's not going to help us. It did help, the shutdown did help with getting the election, it helped with us winning. And it's the longest shutdown I think we've ever had. So I don't think it's a popularity thing, or it should be a popularity thing. We have to think about the country as a whole. What was going to happen to the federal workers, the airports, SNAP itself. I think that, and I don't think it's a done deal yet. I think they're still negotiating. But I think one of the stipulations or whatever, or concessions the Democrats got, was that like SNAP would stay funded for 2 years, and there were things. And I don't know. You guys tell me, has it been finalized yet? And then of course we need Congress to open, and Grijalva to be sworn in, because we need that to start rolling, the release of the Epstein files. So I'm a little controversial on that, but I found that I was not the only one, because thank you guys for some of you actually. A lot of you actually supported that belief, but that doesn't, Robbie, that doesn't mean that it isn't a horrible thing that the ACA isn't funded and all that. But the Democrats are not in control of our government right now, so they don't hold all the cards. I think that there was a movement, like a almost a Russian KGB whatever movement, to take control of the narrative and make people angry within the Democratic Party. But they're not the problem. The Republicans are the problem. We need to keep our eye on the ball here. But that's just my opinion. That's just what I think. Yeah, Carolyn's saying it seems like the regime is getting weaker over time. It truly is. Because if you think about all the decadence that's going on, how can they keep their eye on the prize when they're just like, partying a lot of the time, or on vacation, or probably very few of them really want to get in there and do real work 7 days a week. Um, the president, Kevin Roberts, was supporting Carlson and Fuentes, and the people who worked there were angry. I'm not sure. Can you break up that sentence a little bit? I'm not sure what that means. Um, oh, it is. The House of Reps is reopening tomorrow noon. It needs to reopen. We need to, start having that body of the government working. It's going to be really interesting. Very, very interesting to see what happens. Hey, Celtic Seer, I didn't know you were here. Took a look at Adelita Grijalva's astrology chart. A tour de force. This lady is not to be underestimated. MJ will rue the roster. I've seen her interviewed. She's amazing. Oh, wow. There's so much. I think it's going to be popcorn time next week for us. Yeah. Let's see. The air traffic controllers need to be paid. Travel needs to get back to normal. Safety is a major factor to be considered here. Again, I'm going to put it out there. I think it was a brilliant strategic move on Schumer and those other Democrats, the majority of them not up for re-election. They sacrificed their popularity because it has to happen, but it also allows for the excess anger and also energy that will sweep the Democrats into taking over the House and the Senate, and also a new Democratic president if it doesn't happen sooner. That energy, they're going to be able to catalyze on that energy. Is that the right verb? So that what bought us that huge victory last Tuesday is going to continue. That blue tsunami, and they know what they're doing. So the evil forces that want the Democrats to be divided, to fight within themselves. That's how they do it, whether it's the Democrats and the MAGA, or Democrats within themselves. They want to weaken us and as a force, and we can't let them do it. So again, it's all about energy. Oh, thank you, capitalize. Thank you for finding that word for me. Thank you, Leslie. Yeah, they want to capitalize. They will capitalize on that energy. Anger is energy. Happiness is energy. I think anger is more more intense energy. So it can be very, very beneficial if you capitalize on it in the right way to, get move people or move yourself even to accomplish. It just depends how you use it. But when there is that propensity or potential for anger as a divisive force where we project it onto others and we stop using our logical brain to, to really think it through. That is a weakness, and that can be exploited. And we don't want to let ourselves be exploited. We want to be rational, detached, but passionate, and looking for good trouble, and joyous in our fight, this important fight, um, to I want to say to keep our democracy or to get it back, because that's what it takes. Um, oh, is there a book that people are talking about? Oh, Celtic Seer says this was all done under Mercury retrograde, and when it goes direct, their strategy will make more sense. 100%. Yeah. Um, but I think it's pretty amazing that the Democrats. That's not. I'm not just talking about, the older Democrats or the younger. All the Democrats, and including Obama and Biden, and the other forces there behind the scenes that we don't see in Kamala. They're on it. They're thinking for us, and they're looking at that overarching strategy, and I love that. I love that feeling. Um, Yeah, I want to put this comment up here. Thanking all veterans for your service. Let's see. Yeah, it is getting more noticeable. It says Celtics. It's here saying T's mental decline is getting more noticeable day by day, and I'm going to finish pretty soon. I love you guys. Thank you for showing up. You are so amazing, and you've given me a lot of reassurance, I think, and that makes me feel good that we're not divided. We're seeing things in a similar way, because I was really worried when I said what I wanted to say regarding the shutdown, that people were going to start arguing with me, and nope, that did not happen. Yay. Oh, Celtic Sarah, I know I'm putting so many of your comments on here, but you shut up later, so I'm kind of letting you make up for what we missed regarding your comments, which I really do appreciate. I find them interesting and informative. We are in the time of Scorpio, so things will feel more intensely. Yeah, and I was thinking of the full moon. That was an amazing election day. Let's not lose that. Let's put it in a bottle, that wonderful feeling, because that's who we are, and that's what the future holds. Okay, you guys. Oh, thank you, Carolyn. One more here. Reflection is needed. People are very angry right now, and it isn't a good space to make decisions. Absolutely. Linda's Bishop saying, please prayers for my Vietnam veteran landlord, 83 in rehab, to learn how to gain better balance. Oh, I'm sorry. He's got dementia. Uh, oh, hey, I haven't seen you. Yep. I haven't seen any comments until now. You've given me a lot of reassurance too. I'm sick and miserable and needed you today. Oh, well, I love you guys. I'll be back next week. And yeah, I can ask my guys, I guess, generally what might happen next week, but really, I think there's going to be some pretty crazy things, like as usual. Okay, take care. Love you. I'm gonna go now. See ya next week. Bye bye.